Hey everyone, Sidharth Kumar from Review Magic, and today we'll be reviewing Pagglait, which is available on Netflix. And this is a movie that has a long star list, such as Sanya Malhotra, Sayani, Gupta, Rahgubir, Yadav, Ashutosh, Rana, Sheeba, Chadha, Rajesh, Tailang, Aasif Khan, and more. So you get it. This is a movie that includes a lot of different people, and the movie has been directed and written by Umesh. Bist. The movie has been produced by Ekta and Shoba Kapoor. So I did hear about Pagglait as I was maybe surfing my phone one day, and I saw that Sanya Malhotra was in the movie, and I typically like her movies, and I felt that this is a movie where she's going to perform, and it's a good message that's going to come out in the society based on the movies that I've seen in the past. And it's available on Netflix. And I was trying to pronounce Pagglait. I wasn't really sure if I was pronouncing it well, but the other day I was at my in-laws' house and they helped me say this is Pagglait. And you don't hear Pagglait very often in the Indian society. It's been a while since I heard that. Maybe because I've left India, I live here in the US now. But yes, maybe I've heard it. Maybe people talk about it. So, anyways, it was hard for me to pronounce it. So they said, "Hey, it's Pagglait," and I immediately knew this movie is all about some Pagalpanti. Pagalpanti is a Hindi word which means that something crazy that's going to happen. So, all right. So here's the magic unfolding for you guys. So, a story of a young widow played by Sanya Malhotra, and how does she deal with a lot of the drama that unfolds when there's a death in the family, especially in the Hindu tradition, where there is a 13 day of mourning. There is a lot of complexity of the understanding of the traditions that happen on every single day. There is a fourth day which is called Chadha, then there is a Tervi, the 13th day. So there is a ritual that has to be performed by Hindu families. And this is where in this house all the family members have got together. The list that I just talked about, some of the notable veteran actors are in this list. So the striking thing about this movie is that Sanya Malhotra is completely unfazed. She knows her husband has died. She feels like there is a void, but she doesn't want to come across as someone who, in a traditional setting, is a girl who's going to break down, who is going to make the entire environment, sad for her. I mean, she is herself. She's not feeling that her husband has passed away, or if he's gone, he's gone. Life moves on. So it's a movie about the younger generation versus the older generation, and the clash of the ideology. Typically in an Indian setting, it's a and I think it's in every society. When there's a death in the family, there is you got the mood is very somber. And yes, in this movie the mood is somber, but it is how you get through every day of those 13 days. And for people, what is the priority that is being depicted. And I think that kudos to Mr. Umesh, Vish, and the producers Ekta and Shoba Kapoor. The topic wouldn't have been something that you would really see that often. And I think that it was time when this kind of a movie hits the Netflix, and a lot of people can see that the younger generation is really thinking their own way. So there is a death in the family. A young boy has passed away, and you all of a sudden you see families coming into this house. So this is a ancestral home, and ultimately when someone comes with their wife and kids, it's and all these people that come together, it's a burden on the family that's hosting. You can see Ashutosh Rana crumbling with the bills that are piling up because everyone stays there, everyone eats, drinks. It's a lot of financial burden on him. So I think it's just to start with, the it kind of plays around the satire of the Indian norms. That do we really have to do this 13 days? And Sanya Malhotra is pretty much, on day two, she wants to go and have a snack. She wants to step out of the house, but that's what she thinks she wants to, and she gets it done. But in a typical setting, the old generation would not never think of stepping out of the house because the mood is somber. You got to look and feel like you're a widow. But Sanya kind of, opens up these gets away from these stereotypes. She does what she wants to do. She eats golgappas, Indian snacks. She goes out. She meets friends. She has a Muslim friend that comes to the house. So I think this was a new set of topic that you would see, and you really would start to enjoy that. So her friend is Muslim, and the expectation is every Muslim eats non-veg, but that's not the case. This is a good dialogue that her Muslim friend says that not every Sachin, who's the great Indian batsman, is not Tendulkar. There could be so many different people, and it's a different vibe to it. So I think that for that reason, I think this movie is something very interesting. It's intriguing that how the new generation, if someone is gone, for example, I've known from some Irish friends that when someone passes away, everyone goes to start drinking, and this is in his memory or her memory. But in Hindu tradition is different. But ultimately, people are trying to get away from stereotypes because it causes financial burden. It may come across as unnecessary, and people really don't have time for all that. So I think that is the whole gist of this movie coming out. Now, as a reviewer, I pay attention to details, and you see that Sayani Gupta is a girl that the guy who passed away, he used to like her, and he has a photograph of her with saying, Janu, which is hail beloved, and this photo, the main Sanya Malhotra, she gets hold of it. So it also then tries to bring into the lives of this past ex-girlfriend and wife, and how they are intertwined. Now, one thing that I thought was weird is that Sayani Gupta is the VP of marketing, and the guy who passed was the VP of sales. But there is a stark difference between their homes. I mean, VP of sales, to my understanding, would be making much more money because he's a VP of sales. There's a lot of commission. So there is a difference between how modernistic the VP of marketing's house is and how outdated the house of a VP of sales is. So, and he hasn't this whole ancestral home, which the loan needs to be paid off for the house that is so old. I think that's something that I thought was a bit weird. And then there is a lot of communication barriers. If you see in the Indian society, is that people can't tell someone else, hey, you don't have to come if you don't want to, or you can just send one person on the 13th day or the 4th day, which are very awesome, which are very very important days. So the movie tries to show that, and then there is no privacy. A lawyer, someone from the insurance agency comes in, and he wants to give the insurance money to the widow, and then there is 15 people standing around the girl. There is no privacy. She can't read the documents. It's not done one-on-one. And then that's where the politics start coming into play, is that how do we get that 50 lakh rupees? Maybe we can get the widow married to some other family, and someone else who wants to start a restaurant, a guy, now he gets the money of this. So it's a lot of politics that is being played, which I thought was shallow, but it sometimes happens. It may happen anywhere. So that is something that the director also gets us to see in this movie. But I think ultimately, what you also see is that it's a very patriarchal society, that the head of the family is typically the guy who is going to pay the bills, who has a job, a job, and people immediately start to wonder, is, hey, how are we going to pay the loans of this? And now you have a girl, a widow who had an MA in English, and she was the topper. She could maybe get a job too. So I don't know why that expectation is not there, that whether it's a girl or a guy, both can run the house equally. So there are topics on equality of gender, freedom of speech, that the director Umesh has tried to get out of this movie and send a message into the society. One thing that I wasn't clear was also that how come the behavior of Sanya Malhotra is so unexpected. I mean, it was unexpected to me. It's good to see that she's trying to break through the stereotypes, but it came out as something that all of a sudden everyone is shocked, even including me, that how can she behave in a way that isn't aligned with the traditional Indian ways? She can think differently, but it was not something that I thought the movie could have flowed in a way that showed her why she changes like that. And then in the end, I feel that the movie is more like a comic, a satire to this important message. The dialogue seemed kind of okay, but this could have been made a much more stronger and deeper movie, whether it's direction, whether it's whether it's dialogues, whether it is the overall performance. It seems more like a satirical movie. So maybe my expectations were more that this is a movie that should hit you at the core. Pagglait does do that in a way. It does send a message in a comical way, but my expectations were much more higher, given that they were some of the most veteran actors that are here. They acted brilliantly, and the movie is good. So I do recommend you guys to watch the movie when you get a chance. It's available on Netflix. It's almost an hour and a half. But as a movie critic, I wanted something more stronger appeal from this. But good start here by Umesh and the producers Ekta Kapoor and Shoba Kapoor. So, guys, that's all my review for today. If you have any comments, you can write it down here. But I'll be back with more reviews next week. So until then, stay tuned. Bye-bye.